filter on over. I know Anna Marie's still doing a bang-up job wrapping up that panel. Alrighty. Hello, folks. Welcome if you are just joining us in session 3. Howdy, howdy. Alrighty. Like I said, I'll give people a couple of seconds to filter on over. I hope you had a brilliant time listening to the talk from Spinks and the panel. It was so brilliant. I was just thinking I would pay money to have a podcast of just Anna Marie talking with them. I need some of that in my life every week. But we have to move on because we have some fantastic boot campers in the house. So hope you had a great lunch. Hope you all enjoyed the speaker in the panel. And let's keep the vibe from this morning going. We saw some fantastic projects this morning, and we are going to see some more amazing ones this afternoon. So let us go ahead and meet our first team of the afternoon as people are filtering on in. So this is Team IT Crowd, a good show and a good team name. Hello, hello. They are going to talk to us about their app I Give, which is around food waste, which is a really important thing to tackle, absolutely. So how many people do we have? We have 4 so far. So we are looking for a couple more. All right, got some good luck messages in the chat. We'd love to see it.
Yeah, I'm coming back in a minute. Yeah,
I see you. There he is. Excellent, excellent. So I think you are missing one more person, but how's about you all kick off while she's trying to get in? If that's cool, she can slot in when she gets here. Go for it, team.
No, this is everybody for us. This is it.
Perfect. There we go.
Cheers. Thank you, Liz. Hey, everyone. So we're the IT Crowd, and we'll be presenting our app with you all today. So without further ado, let's meet the team.
Yeah, hi, I'm Dmitry. I have enjoyed many positions throughout my career, from senior lawyer to hospitality assistant. But the field that excites me the most is web development, which I discovered while being on paternity leave. I love digging into problems and solve them through technology. That's why I joined the School of Code to pursue my new passion for coding. Unfortunately, Lily couldn't manage to join us today, so I pass it to Rory.
Hi everyone, I'm Rory. I was once a student studying French, German and Spanish at uni before withdrawing after my first year to study more languages in the form of programming languages with the School of Code, and I'm loving the journey so far.
Hi, I'm Tuan, formerly a personal trainer. I swapped my dumbbells for a laptop to pursue a career in tech and make a difference through code.
Hi everyone, I'm Simran. For the last 8 years, I've worked as a biomedical scientist. Although I enjoyed working with the technology and testing, I felt unchallenged. So I decided to change careers, which would allow me to use my problem-solving skills through code to help people solve the challenges they face.
Hello, my name is Irfan. Last year, I quit my job in manufacturing to freelance full-time, creating small business websites on WordPress and Shopify. Currently, I'm on an amazing journey to become a software engineer with the help of the School of Code. So what is the problem? Food waste is one of the largest contributors to climate change. We waste about a third of all food produced for human consumption. This wasted food has taken loads of fresh water, land and labour to produce. If it were a country, food waste would be the third highest emitter of greenhouse gases in the world, but we keep throwing away perfectly good food. Over 10 million tonnes of food are binned each year in the UK. How did we understand the problem? We began by sharing our own personal experiences with food waste. We all agree this is a major issue affecting us and others. We then created a survey to send to other boot campers to collect feedback on features that would be useful to them. Lastly, we analysed our data and looked at the biggest problem people are facing and come up with a solution to fix this. As part of our research, we also created a number of user stories with different types of potential users. This helps us to understand why functionality is important to them and remind us to focus on their needs during the project. Now I will hand over to Simran to talk about our solution.
Thanks, Irfan. The solution that we have created for our users is iGive, the community sharing app which allows people to share their unwanted food items which could be useful elsewhere. I'll hand you over to Rory now, who will give you our app demonstration.
Thank you, Simran. So I'll just quickly open the app. So I'd like to just quickly walk you through the app and just explain briefly how I expect users to interact with the page and basically a little bit how it works, that kind of thing. So here's the landing page, and it's basically here just to greet first-time users. So they can read a little bit about our inspiration for the app. They can watch a short tutorial style video, just running through the app in the same way I'm doing right now. And they can look at some feedback and actually just get in touch with any of us using this message box here. But it's mainly just here for aesthetic purposes, to be honest. It's not really a main feature. So we'll go ahead and log in here. And you can see we've got some custom Auth0 iGive login. So I'll just sign in with Google. And as you can see, we're presented with the dashboard. And basically from here, I can see all the listings that people have uploaded, basically. So all of these are perfectly good foodstuffs, basically, that people want to upload and donate to their local community. So I can click on any of these and find out more information about them. And I can actually get in touch with someone. So, for example, Dimitri, if I wanted to request his cucumber that he's grown, I can actually leave a message here, and that will get sent to his inbox, his email inbox, when I click request item. And between us, we can arrange some kind of collection. And as you can see, I've uploaded something here as well, and so on. So I'll just quickly demonstrate how we upload an item. So I actually got some compost around the side of my house for real. So I'd love to just donate that. So I'm going to just quickly copy and paste in some pre-written stuff, and compost doesn't go off. I've got about 10 kilos of it, and I'm free every day after 6 p.m. I'm going to choose a file from my local storage. So that is my compost bin, and I'm sure it'll be a lot better for any avid gardeners or farmers that need to use it. I'm not using it anytime soon, so I'll just submit that, and it will be displayed on the dashboard very shortly. Just got a bit of a slow internet connection today, so 1 second. There we go. We get a little message to say, and now it's up for grabs on the feed. Okay, so from here, I can then go within my profile section. I can see my active listings. I can click edit to edit the details. So that, you know, if something's changed, if I'm unavailable at a certain time, I can do that from within there. Also, if someone's contacted me and I'm happy that they're going to come and collect the item, I can hit reserved, and that will basically just temporarily grey it out, just so that it doesn't cause any confusion and no one can sort of contact me at that point. And I can release it, or I can delete the item as well here, which I'll do right now. And importantly, I can't come into anyone else's profile and edit or delete their items. As you can see, I can't change any of his profile information, Dima's, like I could here for me. And that pretty much concludes the app demonstration. I'll now hand over to Dima just to discuss a little bit about how we'd like to move the app forward, basically.
Thank you, Rory. Okay. Yeah, brilliant. So we had several ideas to make the app more intuitive for users. It helps us move on to our next few points. So first of all, we are planning to improve the item request process to make it more smooth and sleek for both users. Also, we're about to implement mapping and geolocation into our application in order to elevate user experience for easy searching process. In the beginning of the project, we considered to migrate to Firebase for features which cover real-time messaging functionality, authentication, data storage, and cloud storage, and have it as our main development platform. That we probably keep on the list and come back at one of the next stand-up session. At this point, I'll hand over back to Simran.
Thank you, Dima. Now I'll take you through our project timeline. We started by defining the problem we wanted to solve as a team. This included ideation, user research, designing wireframes, and branding. We spent our second week focusing on building our MVP, where we split into 2 teams of 3 to build our databases on the back end and set up our front end design, both of which were deployed early. So after achieving our MVP, we managed to meet our stretch goal in week 3, which allowed us plenty of time to review our styling of the app and implement testing. In our final week, the team focused on fixing bugs and adding extra features to make our app more complete. Now I'll hand you over to Tuan, who will talk to you about our tech stack.
Cheers, Simran. So iGive is a full stack web app built using many technologies and tools. So we wanted to make sure we could achieve our MVP, so we leveraged the tech learned during our time at School of Code. So this included using Netlify for continuous deployment, GitHub for version control, Node.js and Express for our backend, and Auth0 for authentication and authorization. With our end users in mind, we explored using Next.js over plain React because, for one, its out-of-the-box features allowed us to create like a high-performing fast app that scales well. It's also SEO-friendly for growing our user awareness and also helps reduce development time through hot module replacement. For our database, we explored MongoDB, but eventually landed on PostgreSQL with Heroku because the data we wanted to store would benefit from a relational database. And one of the main aspects of our app we discussed was how to simplify our image handling process, which led to us to Cloudinary, which we use for cloud-based image storage and management. In terms of testing, we use Jest and Supertest to write unit and integration tests for our backend API, and for the front end, we use Cypress for end-to-end tests. And for our planning and designing, we need to be on the same page, so utilize tools such as Figma, Canva, Miro, and Trello. In terms of teamwork, on our first day of meeting one another, we spent time getting to know each other, sharing our previous experiences in agile teams and how we work best. One thing we felt that was really important was having a daily schedule that was adaptable for other life commitments and setting up regular contact points throughout the day over Zoom and Slack to keep everyone in the loop. And we set all of these key points of how we wanted to work into a team manifesto. And for our project management, throughout this project, we implemented agile processes. So to plan our sprints, we used a Trello board, with each sprint being a day or two, and each sprint had a set of actionable tickets handled with either pair programming or mob programming. We also had daily stand-ups and retros, and this helped everyone get on the same page, plan for a day, celebrate those wins, and discuss blockers. And one thing we did to ensure consistency and maintainability of our app was building our features on development branches. And we had opportunities for code reviews before merging the new features to our main code base. And that concludes our app. Thank you for listening, and we welcome any questions.
Fantastic, fantastic. Well done, folks. Hopefully you'll find a taker for that compost soon. But in the meantime, really well done. I really like your app. Really important idea as well. All right, let me flip over to the Q&A, and we have a question waiting in the wings. So, what is something that you're going to take from your School of Code experience into your new career in tech? Who wants to start us off?
I can start. Yeah, for me, probably the skill of learning, like picking up new stuff. We can do that now. We can like learn a new framework quite easily. Yeah, so that's probably one of the biggest ones for me.
Absolutely, the world's your oyster. Learning to learn, as they were saying in the panel before.
Definitely.
Excellent. Who wants to go next? How about you, Rory?
Okay, yeah, sure. So I think working with loads of different types of people has been just like amazing, and it's more something I'll look forward to in my career. Just carrying that teamwork skills that we picked up, and from people all around different parts of the world, it's amazing. So I look forward to like bringing that forward in my career and just.
Fantastic. All right, how about you, Dima?
Yeah, I definitely take the ability to build up the good relations between the people who you haven't known before, and you could work as a team and be in a family during the whole process. So
absolutely, that's so important. Once you have those bonds with people, anything's possible. What about you, Simran?
I would probably just say the same thing. I think for me, I think I found it easy to kind of adapt with working with anyone, like any new team, and also just picking up new skills really quickly and learning to actually learn new things. So I like really enjoyed that.
Wonderful, fantastic. And last but not least, Tuan.
So before School of Code, I'd probably say learning to code would be the thing that I'll be the most priority. But after going through this, like working with everyone, like working with people, and like all that teamwork and communication to build something like much more than you could ever imagine.
Fantastic. Yep. Everybody together can build something that someone sitting on their own just doesn't have that variety, that diversity to get to. Awesome. Well, big round of applause once again for Team IT Crowd. And you've got over 100 people clapping along with you right there at their desks as they're watching. All right, folks. So as we bring the next team onto the stage, I would like to talk to you a little bit about how we approach UX here at the School of Code. So you'll see from all of the teams you've seen so far, they are making apps that are not only functional, but they look beautiful. They're a joy to use. They've taken in mind how somebody is going to use that app. So the way that we look at designing a user experience during the course is to keep that user and their needs at the heart of the whole process. So you'll have seen groups mention tools like user personas to really dig into who the users are, and user stories to really maintain that focus of what they need. So people don't go off in a tech rabbit hole of wanting to build something that looks really cool and accidentally get away from what the users need. No, people are staying focused with those user stories, as well as user research and testing as they iterate and build. So as you've hopefully seen so far in the real team, with our future groups, this means that the applications these boot campers are building are useful, usable, and solving the problem that the users need them to. So, without further ado, it looks like we have our next team on the stage. So this is our team. Oh, one of my favorite team names again, Team Hugs for Bugs. I love it. I'm not quite as charitable to want to hug bugs, but it's a cute name, folks. So they are going to talk to us about their app, Collab, for some collaborative coding. All right, Hugs for Bugs, take it away when you're ready.
Okay, I'm just going to share my screen.
How's it going, folks?
Not too bad. Looks like we've lost her.
Okay. Can anyone swoop in and save the day? Oh, fantastic. Hajar's nodding.
You can.
Wonderful. Oh. Okay, well, we've got Amrit back
now.
Excellent. All right, the show will go on. There we go. Welcome back, Amrit. Oh, if you're talking to us, you're on mute.
I think I'm having a screen share issue, so.
So.
Okay, so.
Kavita?
I think a couple of people are desperately trying to share here. So if one of you can be the hero that we all need and that we all deserve today to save the day.
Are you?
There we go, Kavita. Nice one. We see your screen. Just
perfect.
We got it. There we go.
Kavita to save the day. Love it. Okay. Hello there. Good afternoon. Thank you very much for joining us today. We really appreciate your presence and support. It's very kind, and we hope you're enjoying Demo Day so far. We are Team Hugs for Bugs, great name, yeah. We are thrilled to tell the story of Collab today. But before we dive in, we'd like to introduce ourselves first. I'm Amrit, and I'm very eager to utilize my previous tech experience and creativity to help make well-designed and user-friendly applications.
Hello, it's Sarah. At the school, I work architect, but I explore tech, to learn size and that problem in technology.
Kavita, you muted.
You're still muted? Sorry, we'll have to go back.
Okay, I'm Kavita. I have a background in education, and I moved into tech because there's no such platform that can reach and change the lives of so many individuals.
I'm Joshua. I'm 20 years old, and I joined the School of Code because I've always had a passion for learning new things and challenging myself. So coding seemed like the best way of making that into a job.
Hi, I'm Linda. As a business psychologist, I help businesses and people grow together. And now I'm excited with my School of Code tech experience to help clients and users by creating great tech products. Our problem is that boot campers sometimes feel lost in the gap between boot camp and settling into new jobs. We're already missing our supportive community and would like to continue coding together in teams and also share our experience with others who are learning to code alone without support. Our event planning app allows us to create and join coding-related events to continue sharing our coding journey. For boot campers who would prefer to only meet the School of Code graduates, the app would also have a more private graduate-only space. Now Josh will demonstrate the app for you.
Okay, so this is Collab. As soon as we load into the page, you can see our clean yet simple design. You can also see some text here explaining what CoLab is all about. We can scroll down to see what's happening, or we can simply click this button and it will take us here. Here we can see the different types of events we offer. We offer code clubs and hackathons if you want to make your own, or guest talks are exclusively held by industry experts. Now we know the different types of events, we can explore all events. This takes you to a page of all of the events. You can filter this page by event type, so hackathons, code clubs, or guest speakers. You can see how many people are attending each event. You can share the event, and you can also attend the event. But in order to attend the event, you need to be logged in. We're using Auth0 for authentication. Now, once you're logged in, you're taken to the profile page up here, and you can see your upcoming events, your suggested events, and you can also attend an event. Once you attend an event, you'll see it in your upcoming events. Here, you can see more information about the event. You can see some tags explaining the event. You can also see a leave button in case you accidentally joined an event, or in case you can no longer make it to the event. Now we know how to attend an event. To create an event, you'd go up here to create an event. You'd fill in this form, fill in your first name, your last name, the event type that you want. I'll go with hackathon. A bit of a description, a meeting link, an email, a date. We'll go with the 1st. Start time, 12 p.m. End time, we'll go with 2 p.m. And some optional tags. I'll put Python and beginner. Once you submit, you have two options. You can either edit details or confirm the event. Once you confirm the event, you'll receive an email letting you know that your event has been posted. In order to check that your event has been posted, you go up here, go to My Events. This will take you to the My Events page. Here you can see all of your events. You can see a bit more information about the event, tags again, and you can also edit the event in case you made a typo or you need to change the date. So if we change the date here to the 9th, click Submit, confirm the changes. The changes should be confirmed here. Yep. You can also delete the event in case you can no longer host the event. If you want to learn anything more about us, you can go to the About Us section. You can see our vision, you can see our story, you can see our ethos. If you are an industry expert and you are interested in being a guest speaker, all you need to do is go to the homepage, scroll all the way down, and fill out this form. That's all for the demo. Now I'll pass you on to Linda.
Thank you very much, Josh. If we could just have the next slide, please.
Kavita, you might need to share again.
I'm trying, but it's not allowing me to click the share. Oh, there we go. I have to click this.
Thanks, Kavita. Our market research surveyed users and 57 responses confirmed a market for our idea. The majority were likely to use code clubs, hackathons, and guest talks. Our stakeholder consultation and focus group also confirmed support for our app and the possibility of it being promoted by the School of Code. Researching the web also shows that other coding communities are not like the School of Code. Our values and ethos set us apart. Users were central to our planning. As typical users, Dawn misses the daily contact and wants to code with peers, and Cam has done online courses and wants to try pair programming. CoLab allows them to code and learn collaboratively. And now Amrit will explain the journey from ideation to delivery.
Thank you, Linda. So you've got 5 complete strangers, a blank slate, and an app to build in just 4 weeks. How on earth did we get there, right? So first we planned out the user journey and our React componentry. The componentry was especially helpful in having all of our components showcasing usability and consistency across the application. And well, we know as developers, right, in the planning stages, intentionality is so important. We didn't incorporate any tech for the sake of it, but rather choosing the right tools for our aims. And planning the back end, as we know, is absolutely pivotal. It's kind of make or break. And it helped us really adopt an API first mindset in allowing us to establish as to how the contract, as establishing a contract really as to how the API would behave. But just within a team, bringing an idea to life was really incredibly fun, especially when we were creating our mock-ups. So our lo-fi mock-up on the left was really valuable in focusing on the flow and the user journey. And on the right, you can see our high fidelity mock-ups. Figma was our playground in exploring the aesthetics, interactivity, and navigation. And during development, collab was coming to life really very quickly. We tested critical parts of the application, gave us a boatload of confidence. Accessibility was focused on throughout. We even tested how well the application is used in conjunction with screen readers. And lastly, we listened to user feedback through usability testing on boot campus, which was really key. We always kept the user in mind, focusing on building the right thing in the right way, which we all agree that it just paid off really, really well. So I'm going to hand it over to Hajara now, who's going to very kindly talk through team management.
Thank you, Amrit. So we began by having discussions where we came up with a team manifesto focusing on enabling growth, a safe environment, and a recognition of everyone's contribution. Going into the project, we knew that an agile methodology would be the best approach for us, as it would allow us to constantly improve and iterate. We conducted user research and we identified the MVP that we wanted to deliver. By focusing on the end user, we were able to really pinpoint the key priorities for our app. Using Asana, we organized our sprints into tickets. We held daily stand-ups at the start of each day to kind of share what we had worked on the day before, as well as any blockers that we might have faced. We also had check-ins regularly during the day and a retro at the end of each day. We took turns between ourselves facilitating the meetings, and we really made sure to work in pairs as much as we could, taking turns with either driving or navigating. Pair programming especially helped us improve our communication, break problems down, and most importantly, reduce human error. And now Kavita is going to talk about the lessons that we learned during this process.
Kavita, you muted again.
Okay, so what did we learn? As a team, we had a few issues with communication to begin with, and we learned that implementing a daily facilitator really helped us move forward with decisions. In terms of technology, we used Table Plus, which helped to remove the abstract nature of the backend. We also implemented Chakra, the UI library, and we found this quite difficult, but realized it was well worthwhile with the responsiveness and the clean modern design. And although we didn't use TypeScript, we believe in the immediate future, converting our code base from JavaScript into TypeScript will really help with any type-related issues by acknowledging them during the development phase. So how did our project go? It went really well. Like, we have a responsive platform where users can create, attend, and update any events that they have made. In terms of further development, we would like to implement a few features, including a reminder for users for their upcoming events, and also a blogging-like feature where any users that weren't able to access the event can access any resources that were shared throughout. And finally, we would like to thank you for watching, and apologies for the tech issues.
It's all good, folks. Well done. Really well done. Fantastic. And good job powering through. The show absolutely went on. All right, folks, we've got a few seconds for a quick question. Someone in the Q&A section wants to know how you made your choices around UI. How did you choose what UI were you using? Who'd like to take that?
I'll take this one.
Yeah.
So we had experience with a few UI libraries in the School of Code, being Ant Design and Chakra, and there was another one as well. A lot of us had worked with Ant Design before, and we really liked it because it's so easy to use out of the box. And I was using it in another project, and I realized that it was really difficult to implement a custom theme. So we already had our Figma mockups made, and we were like, yeah, we really love this design. We had so many compliments on it. And I was like, guys, it's really difficult using Agile with Next.js because there's no documentation on it either. So, just following these tutorials is just not reliable. I was spent like a whole day on it. I was just like, nope, guys, we're going to have to change. But luckily, this was really early on. So we moved over to Chakra. And I have to admit, it was quite difficult. It was, initially it was difficult, but yeah, as I said, it was really worthwhile. Like, I love the aesthetics of the website.
Wonderful, absolutely. Staying true to that design. Does anyone else want to weigh in on that?
No, I think Kavita sums it up really well. I think decisions paid off in the end. And I think the important thing to note is the struggle is worth it. We went through a lot of hard work getting work with Chakra, dealing with the UI, but we committed to it, and we're just really proud of what we accomplished in the end. So the struggle is definitely worth it. There's so much value in the struggle. It's not as easy to say when you're in that moment, but looking back, it's definitely worth it.
Absolutely. You look back and you learned and grew through the sticky parts. Absolutely. What a great note. We do have to say goodbye to you now, but what a great note to end on. Thank you very much, team.
Thank you.
All right. Really well done. Thank you. Thank you. Bye-bye. So as we bring our next team on, I think it's a really good time to talk about Agile. So loads of teams have mentioned it so far, and loads will as the afternoon progresses. But I hope that you're able to see with our team, it is not just a tick box exercise here at the School of Code. It's not just, okay, you have to have a stand-up, you have to have a retro, job's done. No, we teach the why behind this and how to implement Agile by breaking up that problem down from a vision into milestones and issues. So we show our boot campers the whole range of Agile tools and strategies available so that they really get a view of what's possible. Different flavors, different tools like planning, story pointing, estimation, all that good stuff. And then here's the key bit. They choose their own processes and style for running their final project based on what's important to them as a team and how they want to work together. So we don't just hand them a recipe for Agile, we give them the skills and the tools, and then we teach them how to think, not what to think. All right, folks, and these people who know how to think are on stage. We have most of our team UKLA in the house going to talk to you about their app Familia, which is a microsocial site to keep up with your busy family goings on. So whenever you are ready, team UKLA.
I guess Kevin's with us. Yep.
Yep, she looks like she's trying to be all here. Goodbye. All right, I think the show is going to have to go on, folks. So.
Okay. As she's having tech issues, I can introduce her. Well, Kevin, she's a third-year PhD student in the field of environmental studies. She came to School of Code to learn how to code because she would like to make a career shift into environmental management software.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Lorcan. I'm a former forklift truck driver with a background in mathematics. I'm an enthusiastic coder interested in full stack development.
Hi, my name is Wahida. I'm a maths graduate who's interested in coding because I love problem solving. Now I consider myself to have gone from solving equations to solving bugs.
Hi everyone, my name's Najma. My background's in primary teaching. I decided to learn how to code because I enjoy problem solving and want to develop my creativity through code.
Hi, I'm Tony. I have a background in business and project management, and I'm interested in coding because of the creativity allowance and the international opportunities it provides.
Hello all, my name is Mariano Quiroga. I'm an electrician and I decided to get into coding because I would like to combine my electrical background with new technologies. Okay, so problem statement. The problem we found was that social media doesn't provide the privacy and security that families want when sharing private moments online just with their loved ones. Because who would like to share sensitive information with countless contacts where they probably don't know the majority of them? Having that question as a starting point, we decided to create an app that is personal, private, intuitive, and easy to use, even for grandparents who wish to be up to date with pictures of their grandchildren. This was thought to achieve by building a clean app that incorporates all the essential features, like a gallery picture and a bio section where you can find meaningful data, an interesting one, like medical contacts and clothes size, among others, plus a pretty easy way to log in and join your family. On the following slide, what you can see on the screen is our high fidelity design on Figma. Our aim was to design for accessibility so that we are inclusive to the needs of our users. In order to achieve this, we created user personas and surveys so that we can highlight the features that will make our app welcoming to our target users. Now I'm going to pass the presentation to Tony, who's going to do a live demo of our app. Thanks.
Yes, thank you, Mariano. So as Mariano said, we wanted a clean, simple app that targets our users, which are the grandparents, the parents, and the children, something simple that everybody could use. We've got some information here in the menu, which can explain a little bit more about the app, but the core idea of this page is to sign up, login, a big button, bright colors that our family members, any of them can just click on and use. We authenticate using Auth0. And you can use your email address or Google as an account. Many users will have that. And we get into this page, which is a one-time activity where you see a tree, because we think of family and we think as well as family tree. The first person of the family joining this app will create a tree for their family. As we have already created a family, I will join it as a family member. So the family, the Darcys. I'll just go onto the main heart of our app where we do everything here. So the main idea of our app is communication between members of our family. So we've got messages from Mary, Justin, which are who are also members of this family. We can write to them, say hello everybody, or I will make it in Italian. We could post a picture like Justin did earlier, and this message will appear automatically here. Other members can like my message. I can like other members' messages as well. Or if I made a mistake, I could just delete it very simply. You can see a picture here, which can be widened by clicking on it. It also goes automatically into the gallery. So plenty of features for the family to enjoy communicating and sharing information together. Another sharing information part is the events page, where you can highlight events you want your family members to know about. So in this case is the birthday of grandma that is coming up. So we just look as well at a family member, for example. Each family member will have a profile like this one, where information about their health information, clothes information is available, and that's useful for any family member. Let's say I want to give a present a pair of shoes. I don't know the size of Mary. Here I could see it's size 6. Or as a dad that doesn't really know anything about their children, I know that she's O+ when I need to tell somebody about it. So we go back to the main page, and on the main page you can see here we've got our family tree, which we created earlier. At the moment, I'm not connected to anybody. I just joined the tree, but I'm not specifying who am I involved with. And let's say I will be the father of Marinette. So I will just go down here, click on View More, and add a relationship. So I will say I'm Tony, and I will be the father of Marinette, and I will be her parent in that case. I click Submit, I click Refresh. And upon refreshing, I will then look for Marinette, for example. And if I look at Marinette now, I'm connected to her as a father. And if we clicked on any of the users, we can also see the information that we saw earlier by clicking on the picture of the profile of that person. So that concludes the live demo, and I will now pass on the floor to Waida, who will tell you how we did everything.
Thank you for that demo, Tony. Now onto our tech stack. In this project, we have brought together all the technologies we've learned in detail on the course, as well as some newer ones. On the front end, we decided to use Next.js in order to create a fast-loading, multi-page app with search engine optimization, as well as gain experience learning a new React framework. We also used the Balkan app to create a flexible and customizable family tree. We built an easy-to-use backend in Express.js and PostgreSQL to store large data safely, connected it to a cloud database on Heroku so it deploys quickly, and used an image bucket on Cloudinary for media optimization. The various tech stacks we used allowed us to gain experience in adapting to new technologies, as well as enhance our understanding of familiar ones. So now I'll pass you to Najma, who will discuss how we worked as a team.
Thank you, Wahida. We will now move on to how we worked as a team. So agile methodologies were a significant aspect of the success of our project. We had daily stand-ups where one person would take lead of group planning for the day, as well as a retro at the end of each day. Our stand-ups include the group lead to prepare a plan of the day, which highlights scheduled tasks that we aim to work on. We also updated our Kanban board. This aided our teamwork and allowed us to split work between groups and organize our sprints. And then at the end of each day, we had a retro where we discussed our 4 Ls. This is what we liked, learned, longed for, or lacked. We did this to grow as a team by highlighting positives or any possible improvements. We also discussed leftover tasks and planned ideas together for the success of the following days. I will now pass on to Lorcan.
Through this past month, we have learned so much about working in a tech team. One challenge we faced early on was to recognize simply what was achievable in the 4 weeks. So our initial MVP contained a lot of features, and 1 week into the coding, we realized that we weren't going to be able to get them all completed on time. And so as a team, we decided to scale back our MVP, keeping the core features that we really felt defined our app. So those were the family tree, the posts, and the gallery. Also, we've learnt the benefits and the limitations of using external packages in our software. After deciding to create a family tree, we researched a package that best suited our vision for displaying the tree. However, the package was not directly supported in Next.js. Through a little bit of research and a lot of experimentation, we then found a solution that worked in our chosen tech stack. And now on to Kelly.
All right, thank you very much, Lorcan. So finally, how can we further develop the app? One of the ways we could further develop Familia would be to implement usability testing to evaluate the current state of the app, to fully understand the user experience, and also support data-driven improvement for the app. As our app takes in private information from our users, we'll want to make our app as secure as possible so that our users will feel reassured that their data is being protected. Some of the possible features that we aim to add to our app is a chat feature, which will increase communication amongst our users, as well as a wish list, so that buying of presents for family members will become an easier process. Overall, the extra features we intend to add to Familia would make our app as interactive as possible to enable our users create a connection between themselves and the app, and also a closer connection between them and also their family as well. So thank you very much for listening to our presentation today. You can actually check out our app on the link provided in the slide, and we're now open for questions. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Lots of great feedback in the chat as well, but really good job, folks. Beautiful app. I love the dynamic tree. It's just really satisfying to see that relative just pop up on there. All nice. Love it. All right, let's explore the Q&A tab. Here we go. So we've got Paul coming in asking about security. So how would you secure joining a family that's currently by name? And if that's not currently in your app, what might you do in the future?
I can answer this question.
Go for it.
One thing we'd like to implement is, rather than joining the family tree by name, is to join through a unique code. And so that unique code would be first generated from the first person who creates the family tree, and then they can share it with other external sources.
Nice one. That sounds like a great idea. Anybody else want to weigh in on that?
No, yeah, I'd just say it was something that, sorry, Tony. It was something that we discussed early on, but it's something that we just didn't get around to in our project.
Yeah, no worries.
It's definitely a big aspect because we highlight security as well in our first part, and we thought about different packages to help us with that, but it's just what you see took a lot of time. There's a lot in the background that is not present in the front end, which is very important for ID and family separations. That's quite some work.
Awesome. Yeah, lots to build on there. Excellent. All right. And you got Oliver in the Q&A also mentioning we've got the world of DNA at your fingertips as well to keep building. Yeah, nice one. All right, folks. Thank you very much for showing us Familia. All right. Big round of applause for Team UKLA. But it is time to escort you off the stage. But yeah, thank you very much. You have done a fantastic job. And we will bring our next team on board. So before we do, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about teamwork and how we approach it at the School of Code. So, as everybody surely knows, teamwork is one of the hardest things people learn in the course. So it said, I heard the quote the other day, it was really good. The most complicated thing in the universe, they say, is the human brain. And if you think about it, if that's true, then teams got to be even more complicated than the most complicated thing in the universe because they're a group of brains trying to work together. So constant communication and teamwork is at the center of the course from start to finish because that's really more complicated than coding. So we work in pairs. Our boot campers work in pairs, which you've heard a little bit about from some of the teams. We switch the pairs every week. We have teams of 4 switched every 2 weeks. In our project teams, we throw people in with people they don't know of all different walks of life and give them tight deadlines so that they have to get together and produce. So this doesn't go well all the time. Nobody's perfect. But we give boot campers tools via our mindset curriculum, one of the things I think Olivia mentioned on the alumni panel, our mindset curriculum to learn to manage these conflicts and create a culture of forgiveness and psychological safety to make it happen. So today you are seeing what our boot campers have made in teams where they hadn't met before. They were thrown together for a matter of weeks, and then they built rapport and trust really rapidly to deliver fantastic things. So a team that has worked really well in teamwork is Team 404, Error Not Found, with their app Mentoree. So mentoring is such a great part of School of Code. They have built us an app to support it. Take it away, Team 404.
Hello, we are Mentoree, a tech mentoring app. Today we are going to talk to you through our 4-week project by what we have learned through School of Code. I'm Chinwai. I have a background in marketing and aviation. After being involved in a children's cancer charity, I would like to use tech for good after seeing the positive impact it is making in people's lives around the world.
Hello, my name is Fatu. I recently graduated with a degree in criminology with psychology, but decided to pursue that further and apply for the School of Code to kickstart my career in tech.
Hello, my name is Goes Mia. I come from a manufacturing and a hospitality background, but my passion has always been to become a software developer, and I am grateful to School of Code for instilling in me solid foundations that I look to build upon.
Hello, my name is Naval Alam. I just graduated with a degree in accounting and finance, but realized I love building and creating things, so I hope I can use my problem-solving skills in the world of tech.
Hello, I'm Simon. I came from a completely different work background, and I'm looking to build a career in programming.
Hi, I'm Scott. I've swapped the life of a traveling musician for a new kind of journey into the world of technology, and I'm excited to see where that takes me.
We have been extremely lucky to have mentors assigned to us for guidance and support through School of Code. However, for those self-learning, it can be quite daunting to connect with others. Through our own market research, we found that 93% of people would like to seek a mentor had it not been provided by School of Code. And those already in the industry that we asked felt that mentorship is highly beneficial for both parties' self-development. That's where Mentoree comes in, an app where people can come together in a transfer of skills and knowledge between mentors in industry and mentors looking for guidance in the tech journey. Now I'm going to pass it on to Scott.
Okay, so I'm going to walk you through some of the basic functionality of the app. As you can see, this is Mentoree. This is our landing page. We went for a kind of a minimalistic, neutral theme. We wanted the whole experience to feel as welcoming as possible. So on the landing page, we've got a bit of about information and a contact form on the bottom. We ended up using Chakra UI for some of the user components. We appreciate the kind of the simple, clean design. For the demo, we're going to log in from the perspective of somebody who's new to technology and is looking for a mentor. So we're going to log in as a mentee, and this is a Google Firebase authentication. Something we chose we wanted to experiment with and see how it compares to Auth0, which we'd use on the bootcamp. So I'm just going to sign in with email. This is an account I created earlier. And this is going to check, well, the Firebase is going to return a user ID, which we'll check against our database. and then we'll return the relevant record from our database. So this is us. This is our profile, Bob Mentee. From here, you can edit the profile, change any details, add a new profile picture. You can also check your dashboard, or what we've come to do today is find a mentor. So we're going to go on the Find a Mentor page. And here we can see all our beautiful shiny mentors. We can filter these by skill sets with these filters at the top. And for today's demo, I think we're going to have a look at the profile of Janet Jackson. And here we can see her mentor profile. We can read a bit more about her. And then we can apply for mentorship, because who wouldn't want to be tutored by Janet Jackson? So I hit apply now. We're going to get a little message saying that Janet will be in touch. And at this point, I'm going to log out and hand over to Simon, who's going to talk us through the other side of the app, coming in from the perspective of a mentor.
Okay, now we're gonna sign in as a mentor. We're gonna choose sign in with Google because we have the account already set up, so we can see the application that Scott just done. The page should redirect us to our profile, where we can edit our profile, or we can go straight to the dashboard to see if we have any mentees. We are going to that. We don't have any mentee yet in the first section, and in the pending section we have one mentee. That is the person in this case that is waiting for our response. So we can view the profile before decide to accept or decline as a mentee. So here we can check the profile, and we're gonna go to the dashboard again. And in this case, we're gonna accept this person as our mentee. And from the moment that the mentor accepts any person as a mentee, they can see each other's contact details. Like in this case, you can see the email. So the mentor can send the first message or just wait for the mentee to start the conversation. Yeah, there pop up just when you click the email, pop up the window with the user email. And yeah, now we're gonna log out, and that's pretty much the main functionality of our app. And now I'm gonna pass to Nobel.
Okay, so now on to planning. So we use Trello and Kanban for real-time communication and full transparency of our work. From our daily stand-ups and retrospectives, one major learning we took away was the importance of Git and clear communication. We ran into Git branching issues. This made us realize that it is okay to ask for help and to implement a pattern of kind of figuring things out ourselves before asking for guidance to increase time efficiency. In our groups, we had people with different skill sets and strengths, so we paired up with one another and switched consistently. This enabled us to cement our understanding in areas we felt less confident in. We made a plan of what we wanted our app to be, like using the Disney ideation method. User personas and user stories were also created based on the different perspectives and needs of those looking to enter the tech industry and those who are already in it. We also sent out questionnaires to potential mentors and mentees for research. Interviews were also carried out with our own mentors and the School of Code's community manager, Anna Marie, who deals with mentor recruitment. We used Figma for our wireframing and to sketch out the architecture and routes. This helped us to visualize the site navigation and where to render data. And lastly, we also took accessibility and SEO into consideration by adding alt text to images and metadata. In a future iteration, we would like to add a dark mode to minimize eye strain and dryness, which is an issue for some. Now I'm going to pass back to Simon.
Okay, so about our tech stack, I can say that management and version control of our code was made easier for us with the use of Git and GitHub. We use Next.js to make use of features such as server-side rendering and static rendering, and to be able to handle our API in the same application instead of make a completely separate server. For our database, we use PostgreSQL because we thought that the SQL structure was ideal for the data that we wanted to store and handle. For testing, we use Jest for unit testing and Cypress for end-to-end testing. And we are now in the middle of implementing testing with GitHub Actions to incorporate into our CI/CD pipelines. And we also deployed early on our project to ensure that it was running fine and for check for bugs as early as possible. And as we don't have an IPA that requires a long-running server, we went for the serverless option of Netlify to host our app. And now I will pass to Fatu.
So under reflections, we try to standardize the overall code to maintain readability by refactoring and reusing components. We learned a great deal from these 4 weeks as a team. The main takeaway being to implement integration testing from the beginning so that we can catch any problems early on. This is something that we definitely plan to rectify in future projects. Now I'll pass it on to Chinwe.
Had we had more time for this project, we would have added additional features after finishing this MVP, such as a live chat feature, allowing mentors and mentees to communicate directly through the app, which we believe could have been completed if we had an extra 2 or 3 days. We would also like to implement higher security measures, such as adding CAPTCHA to make sure only humans have access to accounts to prevent spam and abuse from entering the site. We would also add an extra email verification process on top. This brings us to the end of our presentation. Thank you for listening, and we welcome any questions.
Thank you so much, Team 404. What a fantastic app and a fantastic selection of mentors. You got to get Anna Marie on the secret bank of mentors. Janet Jackson helping you with code. How good. All right, let us delve into some Q&A. Scott, I think you're still sharing your screen, by the way. There we go. Excellent. So people in the crowd want to know, what was the most rewarding aspect of this project for you? Who'd like to kick us off? Don't all rush at once. How about you, Chunwai? Good. Kick us off, please.
I think being able to work with different people from different backgrounds and different working styles, and everybody having different skill sets, and the willingness to want to learn more from one another.
Nice.
And also, even though there are lots of new tools that we were scared of using, but we still worked really hard to try and research together and try to conquer it and be able to apply it. If not, then move on together and go to another tool. But yeah, so learning from one another, that's really good.
Oh, fantastic. Amazing. Anyone else want to weigh in on that? All right.
Yeah, just to agree with what John Way was saying there, it was great to kind of explore things together, really kind of try little bits of other technologies, and everybody would kind of have a look at something of their own and kind of report back. And if something interesting was found, we all kind of work together to kind of bring it into the app. So that was really cool.
Amazing. Thank you. So we've got Rohan in the Q&A wanting to know, if you had any disagreements as a team, how did you handle them?
I don't think we really had any major disagreements, but at the beginning in our manifestos, we did decide to go with a safe word, which was pineapple. So if there was anything that we're not agreeing on, we would use a safe word, pineapple, but it never really came up. But that's a good thing, I guess.
Oh, that's wonderful. But knowing you've got that in your back pocket in case things do can take a weight off your mind. All right, another group had frozen calamari. You guys have pineapple. We're just in the kitchen making a really weird pizza. Love to see it. All right, let's check the time. Yeah, we've got time for another quick question. So Paul wants to know how you handle different tools available to mentors and mentees and how you could maybe iterate on that and improve it in the future. Anybody have any thoughts around tools?
I think at the moment we used a lot of shared code between the two different sides of the app. So particularly the kind of user dashboards and things are very similar at the moment.
Nice.
So for definitely for future iterations, we'd like to, be more specific on the different roles and the different user interface in each side of the app, for sure. Yeah, it's definitely something we want to work on in the future.
That's great. All right, lightning question. Someone who hasn't spoken yet. Nadeem wants to know, what would you do differently if you could start again?
I'll take this one. One of the issues that we sort of faced initially was using too many UI components, and where there was issues. One was affecting the other, so we spent a quite early portion reworking most of the work that we did, which caused us to lose a bit of time, where we could have used better in terms of maybe adding extra functionality to our MVP. But that is something that we'll So like handle better in the future projects. We're deciding early on what kind of UI we want to go through or what kind of frameworks we want to use, and just settle on one rather than mix and match several.
Nice, nice. That was a good answer. Nice one. And things you learn by experience, things you learn by doing. So you'll take that learning into your career. Nice one, folks. So big round of applause for Team 404. Really well done. Loved hearing from you. Love having you on stage. Alas, it is time. Our audience is probably in the same boat as I am. We have the problem of the empty mug again. So let us have a break. About 15 minutes, so we'll reconvene at 2:30. But for now, go fill up, get your afternoon tea, coffee, water, whatever you need to do, maybe a snack, a little Easter chocolate, and we will see you back at 2:30, folks. See you at 2:30. Alrighty, folks, that is 2:30 by my reckoning. So, welcome back. Hope you have been refreshed and revitalized and excited to see our last set of teams. Can you believe it? Alrighty. So, we are going to start welcoming back our audience members, of course, and then our next team onto the stage. Oh my goodness, need to put my teeth back in. All right, let's welcome our next team onto the stage here at the School of Code Demo Day. Hello, hello, we got them coming in. So this next team is the Red Hot Chili Coders. Oh, I know I say this every time, but another good name. Alrighty, here they are. So they are going to show us their app, Life Lifter, which sounds ideal, and it is around lifestyle and wellness. So folks, remember to mute when you're not speaking because we got a little bit of background noise going on, and take it away, Team Red Hot Chili Coders.
Hi everyone, thank you so much for joining us today. We are the Red Hot Chili Coders, and I'd like to introduce you to our team. My name's Leanne. I used to plan and book inspiring holidays for people, but now with my newfound skills through School of Code, I can plan and build incredible software applications, and I look forward to a rewarding career in technology.
Hi everyone, I'm Mohammed. Graduated in 2019 and started work as a biomedical scientist in the NHS soon after. And now, thanks to the School of Code, I've opted to start looking for bugs in my code instead of bugs in the lab.
Hi, I'm Emily. After training as a pastry chef and living abroad, I wanted to find a more rewarding and stable career. I'm now fully in love with code, especially all the pretty parts.
Hi everyone, I'm Jack and I'm from Birmingham. I studied biomedical science at university, but for the last 5 years I've been working in the financial services industry. I'm excited to start a career in tech, continuing to solve problems, but with a much wider scope for creativity.
Hi everyone, my name is Troy, and prior to joining the School of Code, I worked within the transport industry for 6 years. I've really enjoyed my time in the course, working with different teams and learning new technologies, and I can't wait to launch a career towards tech.
Hi everyone, my name's Tan. I have an international arts background and I joined the School of Code during my maternity leave as a teacher because I wanted to focus on my own learning in a progressive tech industry. I'm excited about embedding what I've learned at the School of Code. Okay, we were given a really wide brief to develop an application that solves any problem. And we decided to look at health, fitness, and well-being. From the figures on screen, you can see just how huge an industry this is. However, around 85% of these apps are short-term apps, meaning that they're not used consistently by users. We found the biggest issue with these lifestyle apps was their focus on one specific problem. And this tends to be confusing, ineffective, and can actually decrease user motivation. Therefore, we wanted to create an all-in-one lifestyle and productivity app. We wanted to make our app simple, aesthetically pleasing, whilst also being accessible. We created a Google form and our results are on screen. And we created 2 user stories to ensure we developed useful features. We also wanted these user stories to inform our daily stand-ups and our sprints.
Life weighing you down, let us do the lifting. I'm excited to introduce to you our app, the Life Lifter. Our responsive platform app allows our users to sign up and log in to deliver a personalised experience. Once they're logged in, they're greeted with a personalised message and a list of their colour-coded scheduled activities. If there's nothing in the diary, the user will be greeted with a motivational quote.
Okay, so this is just going to be a quick run through of how our app might be used on a day-to-day basis. So I'm currently logged in and I've got a couple of tasks added to my day that were set up previously, and these are color-coded based on their categories. So users can either add a task clicking the add button or navigate into the relevant section in the nav bar. So each section of the app's got a few popular activities to choose from, but users can also enter a custom activity by entering the details and hitting send, which will take them back to the dashboard, and then you'll see the activity added on there. So we also wanted the app to let users plan recipes. So we've got a recipe feature in here, so users can search for a recipe. So each recipe shows some useful information, such as the servings, the number of calories, and the prep time. And users can click on recipe for full details, which will take them to the provider's site. Once a user finds a recipe that they're happy with, they can click the Add Me button, and this will put it on the dashboard. Again, later in the day, when it comes to cooking time, they can click on the recipe and view it again. So the dashboard lets users check off activities once they're complete or delete anything added in error. So you can see the progress bar at the top of the page updates in real time as users check off the activities. Our app also lets users track their progress for the past week with this My Progress section. So this is all color-coded, so users can see which activities they've been completing over the week and any areas that they might need to spend more time on in their lives. So this is a quick preview of the other sections of our app, which are set up in a similar format to the fitness page, and to make a simple experience across the app. So now you've seen how our app works, I'm going to pass you on to the rest of the team who are going to talk through the process behind making the app.
Teamwork played a crucial role in being able to achieve our MVP, and we encouraged everyone to be open to discussing new ideas with no judgment being made. As a team, we also put in place some measures, including a voting system, to reduce the chance of potential friction. This ensured everyone was on the same page in regards to our final vision for our app.
So during the initial brainstorming sort of phase, we wrote our collective ideas on a Miro board, and we made sure to discuss each idea so we can filter out anything that we didn't really want to move forward with. We used Disney's creative strategy to break up our ideas into the dreamer, realist, and critic components. We also planned out our weekly goals on Notion, where we made sure to review each goal at the end of the week. And if we felt our weekly goals weren't met, we held group reviews so we can better manage our expectations. So throughout the course of the project, we used an agile approach. We utilized an agile approach, and we used the Trello boards to manage this. We broke down our epics into smaller tickets so we can manage our workload better. We then divided each of these into sprints for the day, and we delegated amongst ourselves. We also held daily stand-ups so we can understand our task for the day and anticipate any blockers, with evening retros being conducted to touch base with other members of the team, understand where we were at with our project in terms of progress, and to check if there was anything that needed to be done the next day. We also made use of Git branching so we could reduce any instances of conflicts, and we merged our new features to the main production branch at the end of the day, with an opportunity for each member of the team to engage with code reviews.
So for our design, we chose 6 main colours, 2 as a base and 4 to represent different categories. We made the design with accessibility in mind, and we adapted as we went through the project to keep this as a priority. We also made sure we had clear call to actions throughout the app, so it kept things simple for the user. The key features we knew we decided that we wanted were first a progress page where users could see how many tasks they completed in a graph form, and a task board with daily tasks they could check off throughout the day, with different activities that they could select, and also viewable recipes. So once we confirmed our key features, we planned out our MVP using Figma. We decided to make our MVP with 4 categories with activities the user could choose from to add to their task board. Once we'd accomplished our MVP, our next goals were to add a calendar so that users could add all their actions in advance. We also wanted to add in the progress page to motivate users to complete their goals or tasks.
For the front end, we decided to use Next.js because we wanted to gain more experience using a technology that is commonly used within the industry. Our front end was deployed on Netlify. As for the back end, we used Node.js, Postgres, and Firebase with Heroku for deployment.
So with any software project, we decided to be sensible and implement tests to ensure our app was resilient, maintainable, as well as being reliable now and in the future. For the backend, we use Jest for unit integration testing, and our front end end-to-end tests were written with Cypress. During the development phase of our app, we also relied heavily on Postman, so we could quickly and easily test our API endpoints. And although it doesn't cover all accessibility requirements, we also use Google Chrome's Lighthouse to check the accessibility of our app. And given more time, we would love to explore accessibility in more depth.
We have loved working.
It wasn't all smooth sailing, and we did hit a couple of roadblocks. We used Firebase so we could allow our clients to log in and create a more personal experience for themselves. At first, we did struggle with the Firebase as a lot of the documentation was written for an older version of Firebase. We also used Material MUI to create a light and dark mode toggle. Customizing these MUI components compared to using standard CSS was definitely new to us, but once we understood and applied the concept, it helped to make our website more responsive and accessible.
We have loved working on our app together and are incredibly proud of what we've produced. But if we had more time, there's a few more features we'd like to implement. If we had 2 to 3 days, we'd like to include a running streak to keep our users motivated and encourage them to log in and complete tasks every day. With another week, we would like to add more external APIs to give the user more choice in activities. We would also allow them to add the same activity to multiple days to increase the user experience. Accessibility has also been hugely important to us throughout creating our app and would remain a huge priority. Looking to the future to encourage growth of our app, we would like to build a community where users can share and compare their results. We would love our users to sign up to joint activities too, where they can only get rewarded if they both complete the task.
So here you can see some of our end of project thoughts, our 4 Ls. And in terms of what we liked, I think the overall consensus seemed to be how well we all worked as a team, and the fact that we had a similar vision for the app. What we learned a number of things, mainly how to implement Next.js as sort of a new technology that we learned, Material UI for our front-end components, and also brushing up on testing methods that were taught early in the course, such as Cypress and Jest. In terms of what we lacked, I think in hindsight, we lacked clear day-to-day goals for each team pairing, and as momentum kind of picked up during the course of the project, we sometimes struggled to meet our daily objectives. Maybe that's something that we can learn from. In terms of what we longed for, I think we could have implemented TypeScript in our project so we could catch errors a little earlier in the debugging process.
Thank you so much for taking the time to listen to us today. We hope you enjoyed learning about our app and that you love it as much as we do. Please feel free to check it out using the link here and reach out to us to say hi or ask any questions.
Well done, folks. Well done. Oh, what a beautiful application there. And you've got some lovely love, that's redundant. You've got some really nice feedback in the chat there, so do check it out. So well done. Let me look at the Q&A here. So we've got Marianne asking, while working in a group, how did you manage the decisions for your app design? Who'd like to give us a thought on that? Jack?
Yeah, I don't mind going. So yeah, I think when we brainstormed everything at the start, we had a lot of ideas and like we could have easily gotten carried away with a ton of features, but we really wanted to focus on what the app looked like and making it look quite clean. So we kind of voted on the key features that we really wanted. And then we just spent a lot of time just making it look really polished and nice, which I think worked out really well in the end.
Nice one. Absolutely. Definitely paid off. That's for sure. Anyone else want to weigh in on that? Going once, going twice. All right. Well, Nadeem, I think psychically knew that I was going to go back to his question for the last group because it was such a good question. So if you could start again, would you do anything differently? What are we thinking?
Personally, I do think if we implemented the external APIs on the other pages might be quite nice. So maybe we focused a little bit more on that for the fitness pages, just to give people a few more activities to choose from.
Awesome. That sounds great. What about anybody else have any thoughts on that? Yeah, Emily, go for it.
I think as well, like having a bit more of a clearer plan right from the beginning of exactly what we wanted to do and when, instead of like, okay, we have the Figma, like, let's make it. I think to say like, right, let's do this, then this, and make sure each bit's done would have just made it a lot more. Because I think sometimes we got a bit confused each day, like, right, what are we going to do now? I think just having a bit more of like a day-to-day plan would have helped.
Absolutely, yeah. So those are the type of things that you learn from experience. So going into your next team environment, you are going to be on it, dog on it with that planning. I love it. Any final thoughts before we move on?
I guess I'll chime in as well. For when we're using Material MUI for the components, to kind of pick wisely what components we can create ourselves, or when we want to choose to use the Material library instead of just creating our own components.
Fantastic. Yeah, it's all about understanding the trade-offs and the benefits and the drawbacks and making that decision. But yeah, nice one that you've had experience in that and you can continue going forward. All right, thank you so much, folks. That was absolutely brilliant. So big round of applause for the Red Hot Chili Coders. All right, thank you, folks. So we are going to welcome on stage our next team. And as we do that, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the variety of roles that our School of Code grads go into, which you kind of saw during like the speaker and the panel, things like that. But as you've hopefully gotten the flavor of, the School of Code is a holistic course, so we expose people to all aspects of the tech team, not just development. So while most of our grads do go on to get an engineering role, some are also in project management, UX, etc. So our main goal is to take people and align them with their purpose through the medium of technology. So if someone has a real passion for organizing people, bringing teams together, perfect. They might be a project owner and they didn't even know it. If someone really loves finding those bugs, they might be destined for a QA role, etc. So whatever people that come in with their diverse background that they're interested in, we align that passion to a purpose in tech. All right, folks, and we got some passionate people ready to find their purpose in tech here with Easy, Scrum, Easy Go. Oh, the team names, they just make my day. Easy, Scrum, Easy Go. With their app, We Share, which is an online exchange and marketplace. So looks like we have most of your gang in here. Ah, there we go. We have a full house now. Take it away, team.
Hello and welcome to Easy Scrum, Easy Go's presentation. Our team is delighted to have you here. First, our team are going to introduce themselves. I'm Elliot, recent chemistry and PGCE graduate, looking to begin my career in tech. I really enjoy programming as it applies both my love of problem solving and learning.
Hello, I'm Yesel. I started my career as a web designer, then got into this coding world. I love learning new stuff and challenging myself, so here I am, enjoying all of this journey very much.
How's it going? My name is Craig. I'm an audio engineer turned developer. I have an interest in programming, solving challenges, and supporting others in tech.
Hi, my name is Iliana. Prior to the bootcamp, I worked as a nursery team lead. I have grown an interest in software development as technology provides a digital canvas to new ideas, solutions to problems, and allows me to be creative.
Hi, I'm Ryan, most recently a chef teaching French cooking. Like many others in the service industry, the pandemic came for that career, and I found myself ready for a change.
Hello, my name is Shaban, and before the School of Code, I used to work at a supermarket. Now I am ready to clock into the tech industry and check out all that it has to offer.
Let me tell you about our project. We wanted to address a real-world issue and develop a product that would have a positive impact on society. We found a few real-world issues that call our attention, such as individuals want to learn new skills and enhance their knowledge, but living costs are getting higher and workshops can be very costly. COVID has been very isolating for some of us and has had a negative impact on people's mental health.
With recent government cuts, there are fewer community outreach projects, and this in turn is increasing the demand for more free upskilling activities. For most workshops that were conducted in person, the nature of the pandemic caused most of these businesses to close. However, the demand for these businesses has not decreased. Now my teammates will present the solution that we've made.
So users are greeted by our homepage. A navbar component is located at the top, which features our login button. A banner component has our call to action and a search bar. The workshop cards are also displayed here, which feature titles, short descriptions, tags, and ratings. Users have the ability to search for workshops by keyword. All workshops relating to their search will be returned. If a user finds a course that they're interested in and wish to explore related courses, they can click on the tags found on the workshop card. This returns all workshops that share the same tag. Through this feature, users can easily navigate through workshops that interest them. Once a user finds a workshop that they're interested in, they can click on the card, which takes them to the workshops page. The navigation is present on all our pages. Due to this, users can sign in from anywhere on the site. When they do sign in, users are greeted with an Auth0 login page where they can either log in via email or Google credentials.
We have a user dashboard where the user can update their contact information, create a workshop to teach, or edit an existing workshop. Buttons on the page reveal the appropriate form where the user can enter their data. When the form is ready, the user can submit, and the site will make a call to the API, where various CRUD functions will take place between the client and the database, similar to what happens on other inputs on the site. Once a user creates a workshop, it's displayed on a profile page that drives engagement with each course. All of the relevant data that we have for a workshop is displayed on this page. For instance, the days of the week it is available, its location, information about the teacher, and a summary of the course. We think that reviews are a vital source of community interaction on our site, so users can leave a review and star rating after taking a course. Our data transactions are all handled through Next.js with speedy server-side rendering wherever that's appropriate. We make our database calls directly with the framework and use its built-in API capabilities. On to Yusul.
Thanks, Ryan. Before starting development, we thought it was essential to create a team manifesto. The team manifesto set out how we would work together and behaviors that we would seek to embody. We also chose a weekly project manager who helped organize the project. We found that switching project managers weekly ensured further joint responsibility and product ownership. We decided on having a stand-up at the start of the day, followed by another before lunch. These were an essential part of ensuring that all team members were up to date with ongoing tickets. Any blockages were also discussed at this time, which allowed for team troubleshooting.
We voted democratically for important decisions. However, we also utilized decision-making games such as planning poker when we couldn't reach a consensus. However, this was only possible because we made a conscious effort to create a team environment that was full of respect, compassion, and a little bit of humor. Thus, we committed to own our decisions as a team, accepted whatever results came from that, and always moved forward no matter what. Now over to Eliana.
Thank you, Cheb. During our School of Code, we learned to use Disney ideation to bring our ideas to life. We used the Miro board as a resource to talk through this method. This method consists of brainstorming an idea throughout 3 rooms. The first is the dreamer room, where we let our great ideas shine. The second room is the realist, where we reassess the dreamer ideas into something more practical. The last room is the criticism room, where we analyze flaws and problems. We then created our user persona stories and collected feedback from bootcampers. In conclusion, with all the steps mentioned, our first wireframe was created, and the first MVP started to take shape.
We as a team utilize the Agile methodology, and the rationale behind that is that Agile is a people-focused, results-driven approach to software development. To help manage this project, we utilize a few tools, and one of them was Trello. Trello gave us a visual representation of the progress of our project. We followed the Kanban system, and this helped us schedule our tasks into smaller components by using a system of boards and cards.
At each sprint, we discussed, designed, and planned the MVP and then deployed it on Netlify. Overall, it took us 4 iterations to produce our final demo. We started collecting user feedback from the very beginning, and this helped give the team direction on how to improve what we've already built, as well as provide direction on where to go next.
Here is our tech stack. Since we wanted to avoid over-engineering the solution to our problem, we decided to build our front end first using Next. This gave us a better understanding of the shape of our data before constructing our final data structure. Once we were satisfied that we understood this, we used Prisma to quickly map out our database schema in Postgres. For testing, we used the Browser Console and Postman for manual testing, asked users for feedback, and also used Cypress for end-to-end testing.
Now we'll talk about our team reflections. We had already learned a lot in the 16 weeks leading up to this final project. As a team, inside this final 4-week period, we've learned as much, if not more. While exploring the new technologies, we supported each other as a team to ensure everyone understood the new technologies we decided to use. And now Yusul will guide us through one of the technical challenges we faced.
Thanks, Craig. We chose to use Material UI, which is a CSS component framework, as we want to focus on creating more features than spending time on CSS. But we didn't know how difficult it is to customize the design in MUI. So it was definitely one of our biggest blockers. However, we knew that it was about breaking down the problems and reading the documentation that would lead us to the solutions.
We worked really well as a team. We worked individually, but mostly did pair programming throughout the project. Group discussions can be difficult while working remotely, but we used all possible tools to make sure communication was not an issue. As you might know, software is always developing, so there's a couple of features we wanted to work on. For example, if we had 2 more weeks, we would have implemented an interactive feature for users. We liked the idea of building a social platform, as this feature would promote direct engagement between users.
Hey, we'd like to thank you all so much for watching, and we'd love to answer some questions.
Fantastic. Really great job. Oh, really enjoyed that. Excellent. Thank you, Easy Scrum, Easy Go. Let's go over to the Q&A and be sure to check out the chat. People saying lovely things. So let's see. Raphael has a question. So he's saying, typically when starting a new project, developers start coding immediately before spending time planning. But it seems you folks have spent a good amount of time planning accordingly. Absolutely, our boot campers have. So, team, do you feel like it impacted the work in a positive way, and how? Who'd like to talk about that?
Yeah, I mean, I think we spent as much time planning as we did writing code. Probably spent more time planning than we did writing code, honestly. Nice. I think we were always checking in on how things were going. Like, so we were planning, seeing how it was going, and iterating upon that.
Awesome. Nice. So not only keeping that plan as a living document, not only at the start, but just going back to it and having it as that all the way through, that through line. Nice one, Ryan. Elliot, do you want to add to that?
Obviously, during School of Code, I think the quote was that planning is cheap and code is expensive. And we found that I think we were worried a little bit that we were spending too much time planning. But when we actually came to coding, it was very much just a case of it was a lot smoother and everybody knew what they were doing. It was a lot easier to be able to keep up to track with what everybody was doing because there was planning, and it was like it helped with the documentation as well.
100%. All sorts of benefits all throughout the process. Absolutely. Would anyone else like to weigh in on that, or shall we move on to another question? All right. So Miran has asked, what was the most challenging part of working as a team? Yeah, go for it, Shaban.
The most challenging, everyone's just like looking at me now like, what's she going to expose? To be honest, the most, I don't want to sound cliche, like, oh, working with this team was an absolute dream, but it was in a sense, because we were all grown adults, you know? We did make mistakes such as not implementing TypeScript soon at all, and don't let me get started on MUI. But the most important thing with our team was, okay, we made these mistakes. Instead of sitting there and finger pointing, saying, Craig, you forced us to do this. How dare you? You didn't really. You know, we were like, okay, we made this mistake, but how do we move forward? Because we don't have a lot of time. So what you see is, despite the mistakes we made, we never looked back. We just pushed forward, and we just dealt with the cards that we were dealt with. And I'm really proud of our whole team, and I love you all to bits. I just thought I'd, just put that on. Yeah.
Oh, amazing. Oh, fantastic. That is so good. I love that absolute honesty and integrity. Sometimes we're all human, but in a team, we just pick it up, move on, get together, solve those problems, don't dwell. And then we love each other as well. Love working in a team. Would anybody else, that'll be a hard act to follow, Shaban, but would anybody else like the last few words before we move on? No. All righty. Well, I think, Shaban, you have summed it up. Fantastic. Yeah.
I'll just say it was great working with these guys. We didn't really have any massive conflicts, and everything was dealt with accordingly. And we'd all accept all the decisions that were made, and it was great working with all of them. So, yeah.
Oh, I've got the warm fuzzies from this group. Oh my goodness, absolutely. Shared ownership in living the dream. Thank you, folks. A big round of applause again for our team here, for our Easy Scrum, Easy Go. Alrighty, so now, before we welcome the penultimate team to the stage, I'm going to remind you a little bit about the recruitment process. So you heard from Robert earlier on after lunch from our fantastic recruitment partner, Sphinx, but it's so important to us, it's crucial for us for our course to be free. And this breaks down those barriers into tech. So we don't charge boot campers a penny. So this is a challenge when we're trying to, not only keep the lights on, but also have top quality, always on learning environments. So we are not a video course. We are not academic, drop in, drop out, none of that. So we run this course instead as a business environment. It's as a tech team. This is truly our boot campers' first job in tech. So the way we can do all of this for free is when we place people into jobs, we make sure people can mute it if we're not speaking. There we go. Yep. So as we place people into jobs, our employer partners are super valuable because they actually pay back some of the course costs. So this makes us sustainable so we can do this for so many more people in the future and keep spreading that joy of tech. So I just want to give a big thank you before I hand over to this team, a big thank you to all of our employer partners and potential future employer partners, hopefully, for being the people who make this happen. Boot campers are so grateful that you are helping give them this life-changing opportunity. All right, so let's meet people who have had their lives changed by this opportunity. So we have the Bossa Nova team with their app Bossa Nova, talking about job applications, which is appropriate. Take it away, team, whenever you are ready.
Hi, I'm Chirag. I was an English teacher who's always been interested in tech, which is why I'm here. I love coding in teams to make beautiful interactive sites and apps. Adriana seems to be having a few issues with her audio, so I'll pass on to Ben.
Hi, I'm Ben, and after working in sales, I got tired of the monthly reset, so I decided to reset myself and learn how to code.
Hi, I'm Cynthia. I have background in the graphic designer, so I thought it would be great to put this knowledge with some code.
Hi, my name is Savannah. I am a Brazilian former lawyer living in London, and I am looking forward to start my career in the tech industry.
Hi, can you guys hear me? Okay, great. Hi, my name is Adriana. I used to work as a business analyst, but I couldn't explore my creativity as much as I'd love to. So I decided to pursue a dream of becoming a software engineer.
Poor Valerio, I think, is still having trouble, so you might want to crack on. Chirag, you're muted, my friend. You are muted.
Okay. All right. Back to it. So the problem that we identified was most people use email or spreadsheets to track job applications, which makes job information look cluttered. So we wanted to build a visually appealing app that allows filtering and provides resources for gaining a job in tech. We designed these features after receiving feedback to our questionnaire from tech workers and boot campers. So our measure of success would be creating an app that we wanted to use for our own job applications. So the two groups we've targeted were bootcamp graduates and tech staff, who will both send out multiple applications. Next, Cynthia will describe our journey and project management.
Thank you, Jai. I will start talking about the journey. So we did our design ideation to make the choice for the filters and also the MVP. We did our personas to understand the user needs as well. We also discussed and planned the user journey and also the component tree for the MVP. We use the Figma to make our lower and high fidelity and also the mobile size. Now I'll talk about the management. We use the agile methodology to guide us in these 4 weeks. And also we have our team manifest to make sure everyone understands how we would be working this team. You talk a little about our day. We start on the morning doing our stand-ups, discuss what we need to do at the day. We split in pairs and get a ticket for the Jira to do the things. You can see here our man and our dev was locked, so no one can merge anything without review the other person. We agreed that it would be great for everyone to understand the code and also avoid mistakes. At the end of each sprint, we have our retros. We use the 4Ls methodology on the middle board. We did also 3 kinds of testing: the super test for the backend, Cypress, and the React testing library for the front end. Now I will pass the band Katana to show our app.
Thank you, Cynthia. I will present our app. This is the Bossa Nova job tracker landing page. In this page, you can see a brief information about the website, and clicking on the button Start Today, the user is sent to a new page where he can choose login, creating a new account, or using a Google account. Our group is using the AuthorZero software to handle user authentication. The user can find his credential on the sidebar, and clicking on the button Add Job, the user can add a new job. Just need to type job title, company name, salary. We are skipping the max salary, and job status. Now you can see an error message because we need to type a max salary. So just need to type there and then save. We have another message saying success, job created. And we can see the job on the table. We have the option of choose between the light mode and dark mode. Just need to click on the button at the top of the screen. And now I'm going to pass to Ben, that's keeping present our website. I think Ben is not here anymore. Okay, I'll move on. We have the option of source. We have the options of filter the jobs by status. We have a list of status like interview, offer, list. Do you want to keep present, Ben, your part?
Yeah, I can. So yeah, with the filtering, as he was just explaining, you can do it by, the type where you are. But also if you're applying for multiple companies, you can actually filter by company as well. If you want to add more details, you can click on edit, and there it'll bring up, so you put the basic details in to start off with, and you can actually add more details such as the tech stack, job description, interview dates, and when you're done, just click save and it returns you to the home screen. If there are any jobs that you no longer require, you can click delete and it'll remove the delete for you. And lastly, we have the resources section. Here we've got a collection of curated links to different sources that help provide interview techniques, CV tips, things for technical assessments. The plan is to add at a later date, so you can actually add your own resources as well, if it's relevant to different companies or different tech stacks you're going to be looking at. And that's the end of the demonstration. So I'll now pass to Adriana.
Thank you, Katana and Ben. So during our 4-week projects, we encounter many challenges. Next, please. As a team, we all came from different backgrounds, technical skills, and ways of working. So towards the end of week 1, we start to disagree about the way the project was progressing. So we move away from our initial plan to avoid conflicts, and small problems escalate very quickly. Our team started to fall apart, and honestly, we couldn't see how we could reintegrate as a team. So we tried different strategies like talk with our mentors, coach, and had an honest conversation as a team. And what have we learned? Being honest about how we are feeling and align not only our technical expectations, but also our personal expectations for the project. We also review our strategies by revisiting our team manifesto. And finally, we learn how to effectively work in a diverse team and use our individual strengths. So now I will hand it to Valerio, who is going to explain our technical challenge.
Thank you, Adriana. Thank you. In tech, with all the choice we have, one of the most important jobs for a software engineer is to pick the right tool for the job. When it came to picking a database, we had a choice between a relational database and a non-relational one. And even though as a group we didn't have any experience using non-relational databases, we still picked Mongo. And we picked Mongo for two reasons. One was flexibility. Mongo gives you lots of flexibility. And the second one was curiosity, because we purely wanted to learn about Mongo. So we had to pick that. Our second problem was styling. And we considered a few options for the styling, but the one we went with was Tailwind. Tailwind is a fantastic CSS framework that, with its functional approach and amazing tooling, made our lives a lot easier throughout the whole project. And while working with new technologies can be challenging, we are glad we did, because knowing how to learn and pick up new skills is the best skill a software engineer can have. Next up, Chirag will tell you a bit more about the future of our app.
So, looking ahead, having 4 weeks restricted the team, but given another week, we could have created an email notification feature, which would send weekly summaries of your applications. In another 2 weeks, we would have added data visualizations with application data broken down into charts and graphics for easy analysis. And finally, given an additional 3 weeks, we believe we would have created a web scraper to allow you to search for and apply to jobs. That is all. Thank you very much for listening to our presentation. Here is the link to our Netlify live site. And yeah, we're happy to take any questions. Thank you very much.
Fantastic. Well done, team. Really great app, great presentation, as people in the chat have said, really refreshing and honest take about what it's like working in a tech team with other people. Awesome. So let's flip over to the old Q&A and see what people want to know. So, all right. So Miran has asked a really good question. So part of diversity and being committed to diversity is around people from all different backgrounds and walks of life coming together in our boot camp. So one of the things is she's also Brazilian from the looks of it, from what she said. And how was it for those of you who are not just Brazilian, but also just non-native English speakers? How was it doing the boot camp in English? Did you get lost at any point? Did you feel supported? So would love to hear your thoughts on that.
Yeah, I can take that one. I think it was really challenging, to be honest. There was moments I was just like, I think my English is not good enough. You know, how I'm gonna like cope with that. But I think it's seeing how many foreigners are on the boot camp just feel me more comfortable of like saying and making mistakes, you know, when I'm talking. So I think that for me was kind of a unique experience. And you know, yeah, it's going out to your comfort zone in the end of the day. So
fantastic. Yeah, you're part of that community. Excellent.
For me, it was pretty much the same thing. I believe it was hard at first, but now I can see that the whole boot camp was like life-changing experience for me. I feel like a completely different person now, more confident and able to take risks and know that I can do that. If I did this, I can do anything.
Absolutely. Here, round of applause, from Chirag and everybody else. That's exactly right. All right, anyone else want to touch that question, or shall we move on?
I can say something.
Yeah, go for it.
For me, all the bootcamp, I always said it will be a double challenge because it's not my first language and it's a new skills for me. But yeah, it was great because I had all the coach saying, you can do this. Elena, thank you. You are Brazilian as well. So I so awesome for us. don't give up because of your language, you know, you can do this. Thank you.
Here, here, absolutely. Absolutely wonderful. All right. So another question, thinking about people who are currently in the shoes that you were in about 16 weeks ago, or 16 weeks plus a few weeks, thinking, oh, is this for me? Is this School of Code thing? Can I do this? Do you have any advice, any recommendation you give to people who are thinking about making that change to tech? So maybe someone who hasn't spoken yet want to take this?
Yeah, I can speak a bit about this. Yeah, I've actually recommended applying to the course to a few of my friends because it's been such a inspirational and kind of life-changing thing for me. I personally was made redundant just before I heard about it, so I really had the opportunity, and I've kind of personally, and I think everyone in the group has really grabbed it with both hands. And yeah, we're just all looking forward to the next stage. But yeah, it's been a fantastic opportunity that, unless it was free, I wouldn't have been able to do, to be honest.
Absolutely, breaking down those barriers and getting great people like each and every one of you into tech, because that's what tech needs right now. It needs diversity of thought, diversity of people, and you all are in the right place, right time, and anyone else who's considering it. So well done, Team Bossa Nova. Really pleased to have you on stage. And can you believe it, folks? We are coming up to our final group. Oh my gosh. Before they come on stage and as they're making their way on, I would like to touch on my final little thing about our process, which is job readiness. So we know that there's a baseline level of tech expertise that our graduates need to slot into your team seamlessly. So they need to understand what happens on a tech team and engineering, and how to contribute to that. But we know that on any team, there's going to be specific tech, specific processes to learn that might be different from, because we can't teach everything on the bootcamp after all, and tech is always changing. So we really prioritize our people being ready and hungry to keep learning as a key. So we boil down job readiness into a baseline of tech, hunger to learn, and the ability to work, as you've seen, in teams. That's what we call ready to work. So it's not just tech skills and being able to bash out an app. Anyone can do that. It is developing in that engineering team with an engineering discipline and mindset. So we hope that you have witnessed that today with all of our teams. And I would like to welcome our final team of job-ready coders and bootcamp graduates onto the stage. So we have Team Restful Journey. So they're going to talk to us about their app called Nourish. And it is a recipe app basket. Oh, making me hungry just thinking about it. So can't wait to hear more, folks. So we got four of you. So why don't you kick off now, and we will hope your final person can come on in when they can. Take it away.
All right, sounds good. Thank you, Liz. Thanks for coming, everyone. As Liz mentioned, we're the last one, so we'll try to bring this home with style. All right, so let's get this going. So I'm Anthony. I've had a very varied career ranging from science to quality to commercialization. But the common thread I've found through all of those is I love when I have the creative freedom to solve a problem. And that's how I got into code.
Hi, my name is Zach, and I come from a business and finance background. And I'm very excited to use the skills I've learned to embark on this new journey.
Hi, I'm Karen, who used to be a primary school teacher, but I've recently switched careers into something which I can be creative, will provide a challenge, and where no 2 days are the same.
Hola, I'm Luis, and I always wanted to work in an environment that allows me to progress and give more to society.
Hi, I'm Marwa. Before the School of Code, I recently graduated with a degree in pharmacy, and then I decided to swap prescriptions for programming as the creativity and diversity of tech inspired me to do so.
As the world is becoming more planet and lifestyle conscious, individuals are looking for more ways to implement lifestyle changes. In the UK, there has been an increasing demand for organic food and seasonal food types. Imports of food has a high carbon footprint, and it's something that a lot of people care deeply about. We decided to make an app that helps to educate people about the food that is in season right now, along with the recipe inspiration for those particular ingredients. The result? Tastier food that cuts down the time taken that food takes to get from ground or tree to your plate.
So we designed the Nourish app to solve this problem through a key user journey, where someone who's about to do their shopping can log into our app, they can see what's in season, they can find some recipes related to that ingredient, and then add to their shopping trolley what they need to make those recipes. So the user can log in here, and this is handled through Auth0. So once the user enters their credentials, they'll be taken through to our homepage. And you can see it's currently on spring, as that's the season we're in. And the user can scroll down and see a selection of produce that's currently in season. We've also got another feature we added that you can change the theme of the app based on the season. So we thought this would be a really cool feature as the year goes by, changing the theme of the app. And also it's good for the educational sense because you can change season, then you can scroll down the page and you can also see which produce matches up to that season. So if we jump back to autumn and continue our journey, the user can see what catches their eye. They need some greens in their diet, so they're going for the broccoli. They come to the ingredients page where they can see some health facts about it, and they can also see a little bonus fact down the bottom, which we're trying to weave that in as we go, the education as you move through the app. Then the user can scroll down a bit here, and they are presented with 4 recipes based on broccoli, but maybe they don't like what they see, so they click on Discover More. And they're taken to our search page, which is pre-filled with broccoli. But this operates like a normal search page, so they're like, nah, broccoli's not good. I need some potatoes in my life. So they're searching there, and they see the potato gratin, and then they go for that one. And they're taken to the recipe page. We've got a favorites functionality on here, so the user can favorite that. And now if I click through to my favorites, we can see it's added down the bottom there, along with a couple of others, like you can't miss with pumpkin donuts, apparently. So we go back to the recipe, you've got all the ingredients listed there, and then the user can add these to their shopping cart. They can click the button there. So they need some butter, they need some garlic, they got plenty of goat cheese, but they need their milk. So now they go to their shopping list, and we can see that they've all been listed here. And this has got normal shopping list functionality. So I also need bread, so I can just chuck that in there as well. Just going back through my favorites, I can click back into the recipe, and we've also got the steps needed to create the recipe down the bottom. And you can tick these off as you move through. We just thought it'd be a useful function because you're cooking in the kitchen, you got your phone in your hand. It's very nifty to be able to tick off the steps as you go. So that's the key user journey we were going for. Other features we've got in our app are around like the educational part of it. So if you go to our About page, you can see this has got some information about why it's good to eat seasonally, a lot of the things Karen was just mentioning earlier. And then we also have a seasonal month-by-month guide. So if I click through here, you can see it's a list going month by month, breaking down what's in season and when. We've also got some features in the app for an unauthorized user. So if I log out here, it'll take us back to the login page. But then when I open the menu, you can see there's no more favorites, and then there's no more shopping list either, as you have to be an authorized user in our database for those to work. But the user can still come to home, and they can still access the information about the ingredients, and they can also get information about the recipes as well. So I'll hand it on to Marwa now.
Thank you, Anthony. So during the early development process, we created multiple user personas to represent the different types of people who might use our products. For example, meet Jaya. She's becoming increasingly aware of the harmful effects of the pesticides that are used in out-of-season produce imported from countries with less stringent regulations. She would now like to make more dishes using seasonal ingredients, but is having trouble finding these recipes at her fingertips. Based on this user persona, we refined our ideas by using the Disney ideation model and then sent out surveys to the wider School of Code community to receive feedback on what features to include in our MVP. We then created low and high fidelity prototypes using Figma. The design process was iterative. Based on feedback as well as usability issues we encountered, we came back to these designs regularly to make appropriate adjustments as the project developed. Once our low and high fidelity prototypes were completed, we went through the design and organized the elements into a hierarchy of components and subcomponents. This allowed us to easily spot reusable ones along with their variations and gave the team a good sense of the scope of work ahead. This aided our workflow as any team member could jump in, pick an isolated component from the backlog and code it.
When it comes to the backend design, we reach an initial agreement defining routes and data structure responses, which allow us to work simultaneously on the back and front end. About the tech stack, we initially thought of exploring new technologies. However, we agree of using the parent stack so we could consolidate our knowledge and add more value to the app in a short amount of time. We still use Jest, Supertest, and Cypress to test our app, applying some tests primarily around the key components, and lastly, some end-to-end tests to consolidate the user journey. Apart from that, Git, Heroku, and Netlify had a crucial role in our CI and CD.
So we created a team schedule so that we had a daily structure that we could follow. We began each day with a team stand-up in which we would recap the previous day and gauge the mood of the team. We kept feedback cycles short by meeting before breaks to update the whole team. We would end the day with a retrospective in which we reflect on the day and the tasks that we completed. We used a series of sprints to achieve the MVP. This was through the use of a Trello board as it broke down the tasks that needed to be done. As a team, we discussed things like learning styles and personalities before the project started to bond as a team. We also discussed our strengths and weaknesses technically, as this helped us plan effectively in the task delegation. Our voting system was set up to settle different opinions quickly. We used tripwires on certain features as we were conscious of the time that we had. We pair programmed by splitting up the front end and back end tasks. We went for clean, readable code and comments when necessary. The Git flow we used was a feature branch workflow, so it was easier for all team members to rotate.
When thinking about scaling the app, in the next 3-day sprint, we would have a filter by dietary requirements when searching for recipes. So if the user is vegetarian, vegan, or gluten-free, they would have that option to choose from. They would also have the ability to customize save recipes, swap out ingredients, or altered ingredient amounts that are saved in their favorites. In the final week sprint, we would have created a user profile with a dashboard that includes their detailed favorite recipes, saved dietary requirements, location and shopping list. We would also have a map function so they could search their local nearby area and find their fresh produce in their little farm shops or wherever they want to go. We would like to thank you for listening to our demonstration. We hope it's something you could see yourself using in the future. And we would like to welcome any questions.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Team Restful Journey. Really useful app and absolutely beautiful as well. So got a couple of questions over here in the Q&A and check out some good feedback in the chat. So someone wants to know about the seasonal data. So is that created by an API externally? Is this something you can edit location-wise, for example, if you're moving around? Would anyone like to expand on that?
Yes, I can go. So we first of all thought about just the UK users. So we created that table with the specific information, and actually the fact that we are showing on our apps is a fact about the crops here in the UK to add it like more interesting to our app. Yes, and we can certainly add more. We thought about adding more ingredients, but yes, we kind of thought about all the things that happens like Brexit and everything comes to help to this country. So yes, we keep it to the users of the UK.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Anyone else want to touch on that, or shall we move on? Alrighty. So we got a question. Oh, one of my favorite ones where they're asking if you can summarize your group in a word. So let's say summarize your experience as a group in one word. Who would like to get me started on that? Karen, I'm looking at you. My eyes went to you first.
I'd say 2 words.
Okay.
I'd say determined and positive, because we had big visions initially, and we scaled those down, but any problem that we came across, we came over the hurdle and we could always fix it with a positive attitude.
Oh, wow. There we go. 100% more positivity than I asked for. I love it. Anthony, you were going to say something as well?
Yeah, I think Karen covered it really well. I was just going to say smooth because, I mean, we had a lot of challenges we had to overcome, of course, but it always just came out nicely on the other end. And I think the more we worked together, we developed that feeling of knowing that, hey, like when we come across problems, we get over them fine. So I think, moving along and it allowed us to work better as we went.
Fantastic. All right. Any other members want to quickly drop a word, or shall we move on? All right, I think those summed it up really, really well, Karen and Anthony, and well done to the whole team Restful journey. Well done. Oh, you had to wait all day, but you rocked it right here at the end as our ultimate team. So it is just about 3:30, just coming up to that. So thank you so much for each and every one of you who have given your valuable time to be here today to help celebrate our boot campers' accomplishments, see what they've made, and be here for their triumphant journey into tech. So I just wanted to remind you, 16 weeks ago, most of these people had not written any code. They were taking their first baby wobbly toddler steps into the world of code, and now look at them. They are bona fide tech engineers, talking the talk and walking the walk. So I would also like to thank my amazing colleagues behind the scenes. So Yassine, Elena, Bex, all of our other staff acting as unsung heroes, making this event seamless backstage. So I hope you've been wowed by what these phenomenal boot campers have accomplished, as wowed as I've been. And now I would like to direct you back to the main stage to hear from our keynote speech from one of our absolutely valuable headline sponsors, OAG. So if you'll head on back to the main stage. Oh, thank you very much, everybody in the chat. And yeah, big round of applause again for all of our boot campers, all of our staff, all of our employer partners who make this happen, and everybody who has attended today. So thank you so much, and head on back to the main stage to hear from OAG. Woo!